Dalton, can you talk a little bit about some of the struggles y'all have had punching the ball in after some of those long drives and just how you sort of cope with that mentally moving forward?
Yeah, it just seems like it's little things here and there. I don't think you can pinpoint it to any one thing. I think you saw a couple times we fumbled the ball, and one time we just tried to take a shot on second down with DeAndre Hopkins in the end zone. He just fell down. It was a wet grass. 9 times out of 10, he comes down with that ball and scores a touchdown, or at least bats it away. So it's just, it seems to be just bad luck. But we just got to keep fighting. And hopefully the things will kind of start to turn our way.
Does it make it any harder to want to keep fighting now that the ACC Atlantic's over with? And there's just a couple games left in the season. Does it make it harder for you guys to keep on fighting?
To be honest with you, I think it makes us want to fight a little bit more. Especially these seniors. They don't want to go out on a losing note. None of us do. We want to go out, winning the last 2. If we're getting bowl eligible 3 games. And, that's really our goal each and every week is to win no matter what's left on the table, what ACC goal, no matter what game it is. The bottom line is we want to win. And I think everybody's more fired up than ever simply because we haven't won. And, when you're winning, you create a lot of momentum and you just kind of get used to it. But when you're losing, it's painful. The guys just hate it. And it's just the worst feeling in the world. And we want to do everything we can to combat that.
When you have the long drives that come up, I think Dabo said that there's like 9 drives of 8 plays or more in the last 3 games that have come up with nothing. Do you start pressing a little bit? Does it get in guys' heads a little bit when you get down the red zone, or how do you approach that?
Yeah, we've been focusing on it the past couple of weeks about really just trying to stick it in there and don't even give our special teams an option. We have all the faith in Chandler to make the field goals, but let's not give him the chance. Let's just go ahead and score and put 6 points on the board. And that's really been our focus. So it's really disappointing when we get down there. And like you said, we'll have long play drives, 12, 15 play drives last week at Florida State. So, we're moving the ball up and down the field. I think we had close to 400 yards of offense. They really just were having a hard time slowing us down, and we just couldn't, cash in at the end. So it's obviously very frustrating.
Where does Saturday's loss rank on your personal painful loss hierarchy?
That's up there pretty high. That's obviously with what we had to play for and as hard as we prepared and, as much as all of these guys wanted, it's one of the most disappointing locker rooms and hurt locker rooms I've ever been around. It's something you never want to experience as a player, but, if you're going to compete and you're going to play at this level, you're going to have situations like that. So it's just learning how to deal with that and suck it up and move on to the next one.
What did your dad play at Wake Forest?
He was a center.
Center?
Yeah.
So is that special going up there this week and playing the same place your dad playing?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. He took me up there a few times when he was, coaching. He's still coaching, but when I was getting recruited and everything, he'd take me up there. And, we visited campus, and I liked it a lot, but, I really felt like Clemson was the place for me. So he's always been my hero, and I've always wanted to be just like him. So it's going to be interesting to see what his experience is like, although I'm sure it's a lot different up there now.
You trying to sell you on Wake Forest at all? Or
No, he was very open. He let me make my own decision, and, he's the biggest Tiger fan there is now.
But you considered it?
Yes, definitely. They were one of the first schools to offer me. Coach Henry recruited me. I think he's their secondary coach. We had a great relationship, but at the end of the day, this is where I felt at home.
How do you feel like the Lions play right now? Like you said, you are getting those 12, 15 play drives, and you're piling up a lot of offense. It's got to feel pretty good from that aspect.
Yeah, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. I feel like our whole situation is we're doing well. We just can't cash in. We got to find a way to score some points, and that's really been our focus the past couple of weeks. That's where we've been struggling all year. And I think the only difference in this year's team and last year's team is when we got down there, we scored points.
Yeah.
We're just as successful on offense. We're, running the ball just as well. We're able to throw the ball. Our receivers have really stepped up. We're playing really well, except for scoring points. And unfortunately, that's the only thing that matters.
I was talking about how well you're playing, protecting the quarterback. Why do you think you're not running the ball?
Well, the only way we're able to run the ball is because we're throwing the ball pretty successfully. Football's all about a balance. And our coach, does a great job of keeping defenses off balance. So, anytime you run a power for about 8 or 10 yards, which is just a downhill football play, then you load the box up, they pretty much know it's coming. The only way it gets 8 or 10 yards is because they're expecting a play action or something else off of it. So our coaches do a great job of putting us in a situation to be successful, and that's the only reason we are able to run the ball as successfully as we are.
So in hindsight, looking back at the first 10 games, you think you've been as committed to the run game as much as you could have been, as much as you should have been?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were very balanced. I think you look back, it's about 50-50. And, some of our big plays have come from the run. I mean, obviously when Andre was healthy, he had that home run potential. I think we dedicated the run a little bit more to him after we, had lost 3 games in a row, and we decided we wanted to kind of right the ship. And I think we made a lot more conscious effort to get the ball in his hands. And I think we've done a better job of running the ball since.
Did you attend games of Wake growing up or not?
A few, not many. I think the last game I went to was when I was a freshman. I think they played Florida.
Did you occasionally you'd go up?
Yeah, we would go up, seldomly. So. But this is going to be a good experience for my dad because a lot of his former teammates are going to be there, and he's going to get to see them and some of their sons and stuff like that. So,
You know what year he graduated?
he played from 78 to 81.
It seems like the 2 most disheartening losses of the year are also the 2 longest trips back home. Which one was the worst? Boston College or this one?
Well, I mean, anytime you lose, it's bad. I don't know if I can put. I hate to lose, period. So it's hard to put them in order. But obviously this past weekend we had just put our whole heart and soul into that game, and we had just done everything in our power we felt like to win the game, and we still had a chance. I mean, it comes down to a questionable pass interference call at the end, an unbelievable 50-something yard field goal, and or we're right there in overtime. And it's just, like I said, I don't know anybody that hates to lose more than some of these guys on this team. It's just very frustrating.
What was said yesterday when you guys got together?
I think the senior leadership did a good job of kind of bringing everybody up and, just really raising the energy level. Coach Winnie obviously always is full of energy and high, and, just always gets us pumped up. But sooner or later it's got to come from within. And I think the past couple of weeks when things haven't been going our way, our guys have really done a good job of boosting everybody up and just saying, hey, you know what, we can't do anything about that. All we can focus on is trying to beat Wake Forest and, getting bowl eligible and going out on the winning note.
Just curious what the feeling was like when you saw that 55-yarder go through.
I mean, that's just devastating. You play your butt off all game. And like I said, we having 12, 15 play drives, and as offensive linemen, I mean, that's, it's tough to go through that physically, mentally, and go through there and then not get anything out of it. It's very frustrating, but, we just had to keep doing what we're doing, and we came down at the end and had a chance to win, and, it just wasn't meant to be. So it was just devastating. I can't think of any other word to say it.
Did you feel like y'all could have pounded it a little bit, pounded the run a little more down near the goal line?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could have run the ball more, but at the same time, we were doing such a good job of keeping them off on their toes. We were so balanced, and just when they thought we were going to throw the ball, we were running it. When we thought, they thought we were going to run it, we were throwing it. We just did a great job of mixing it up, and I think that's why you saw such, success offensively.
The play to nuke you mentioned, that's something y'all run a good bit in practice, I guess?
Yeah, we've put that in the past couple of weeks. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, he comes down with the ball. I think it's very obvious he's become one of our best playmakers. And, he's got unbelievable hands. And he's come down with several of those in practice over DeAndre and some of our other, big-time players. And, we were all confident. We knew it was going to be 6 points. And, I'd like to see what happened if he didn't fall down.
You ever seen him fall down on it before?
No, never. I mean, we were all sliding around a little bit. I don't know. It seemed like they had watered the field or something before the game. I don't know, but it was very slippery.
I thought it was interesting that I got a text in the press box after, it seemed like scoring opportunity after scoring opportunity was going by the wayside. A friend of mine, a big Clemson fan, said, I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. I can't watch. Is that almost the way you guys were feeling as the opportunities kept slipping by and Florida State was hanging around, that You know, oh no, here we go, because we're kind of snake bit this year.
No, I mean, I really don't feel like anybody felt that way. We had such a determined spirit. You know, we had our best week of practice. Coach Winnie cut back a little bit. We didn't have as much physical. We were very fresh. We were ready to go, and you know, we were just. If you'd have asked me before the game, 100%, no doubt, no biased opinion, I thought we'd have won. You know, I had my mindset, and so did everybody else on this team. So I don't think anybody ever doubted, no matter how bad the situation got, that we were going to get beat.
Did you watch the field goal? I noticed some of the players didn't even watch him attempt the field goal. Were you one of the ones watching, or did you turn away?
I was kind of glancing back and forth, and you know, I just kind of turned down, and all of a sudden I heard the crowd get really loud, so I kind of know what that meant. It's just something you don't want to hear.
Appreciate it, Dalton.
Sure.
Your dad is at Hillian,
Hillian High School, yes, sir.
and you played there?
Yes, sir.
I was just thinking, back when I was